Time now for Pro Football Fast Break, the show that brings you unfiltered, unapologetic, opinionated, pure pro football talk. Now let's go to the guys with this week's show. Yeah!
So as we get started, it's podcast 89. It's week 6 in the NFL. Tim is here with us from the campus of Georgia State University. Tim?
Hello. I'm here.
Jacob is with us north of Atlanta in the city of Ackworth. And Jacob will be coming up in a special report on some breaking news coming up next. So, Tim, week 5 is behind us in the NFL. We're going to go through some of the scores and just take a quick look at some of the games, some of them devastating to us. All right, let's kick this thing off with the latest news from Jacob on location.
So the Falcons traded away the captain of their defense, Deion Jones, linebacker, to the Browns in exchange for a late-round draft pick.
What in the world is going on there?
He needed... They couldn't pay him.
Oh, okay.
But, your team is complete. You just gave away your top 2 player on your team that's already not good.
Boy, they're making some strange moves.
That was weird. So, yeah, Falcons got a little worse. The Panthers already fired Matt Rule.
That's incredible.
Head coach. And then I thought about it. Well, he did bring back Cam Newton, bring in Sam Darnold, and trade for Baker Mayfield. And those were all the stupidest decisions ever. So
giving up draft picks for terrible quarterbacks and players.
Bringing back Cam Newton and then starting him twice, and he looks like shit over Darnold, who also is so bad that they had to bring in Baker.
And here they sit at 1-4.
Yeah, and they're actually worse than the Texans, probably. I think they might be number 32.
Jeez. I won't ask where the Steelers are, but I'm sure we'll get to that.
Brady is now 11-0 against the Falcons.
Wow.
Oh, and we also have to talk about this. There was a normal sack in the Falcons game on Brady. It was a normal sack. Nothing wrong with it. Grady Jarrett's sack wasn't hard, wasn't anything. They called roughing the passer. And
it's insane.
It gave Brady the ball, and it kept the Falcons were 1 touchdown away from winning. They sacked him on 3rd down, and they called roughing the passer for no reason. Yeah, something's either rigged or there's no explanation. There's no explanation for being an NFL referee and doing that and making those calls. And then Chiefs-Raiders game, they called a roughing the passer on a strip sack on Carr. He tackled him and took the ball, and they called a roughing the passer again, which once again makes no sense. The commentators and everyone watching in all of the world are confused.
And the thing is, once he stripped the ball and he is in possession of the ball, he's basically an offensive player.
Yeah, there's no strip sack. You can't call roughing the passer on a strip sack, just like you can't call roughing the passer on a sack. It's when he's throwing the ball and then gets hit late. That's roughing the passer.
Yeah, because it's like he becomes the offense and the quarterback becomes the defense at that point.
No, yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
What happened this week really hurts the integrity of the league, and it's an ongoing problem that the refs have been so terrible for over a decade.
Yeah.
Where I remember I was saying to my friend, we were chanting "Ref, you suck" at the Titans game 10 years ago. This has been a problem for so long. And then the Chiefs fans start chanting "Ref, you suck."
Right.
The whole game. And booing the whole game.
And then Sunday, Kenny Pickett goes into a slide.
Yeah, and gets hit sliding. No roughing the passer.
No roughing the passer. He retaliates by pushing the guy, and he gets the flag.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. So the refs are fucking terrible, and Goodell's a moron for not firing them immediately and not saying anything. There needs to be an explanation. This is fucking ridiculous.
They said that he put his body weight on the quarterback.
That's complete bullshit. I want to see
nuts.
the ref on TV with cameras where someone fucking asks him, why did you call a textbook normal sack that wasn't even hard roughing the passer, and then a strip sack roughing the passer?
Right. It doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't.
And why
add
is it
up.
that there were so many calls were total bullshit and none for the Chiefs?
Right.
And they still won by 1 point because the
Right.
refs were literally against them. And my only thought is, why do you want the Raiders to beat the Chiefs? Has to be for gambling. That's what I think. That doesn't make it more. I guess that makes it more competitive or something. But like,
I mean, you
no,
could argue that, but yeah.
it's got to be for gambling. It's total bullshit. Total bullshit. The NFL is actually a fucking joke until they get it fixed. And I'll be watching less games now. I won't be having
irritating.
5 games at once on my TV or like set up because it's a fucking joke. Half these games are controlled by the refs, and it's been that way for a long time.
Yeah, it's irritating as hell.
And yeah, that's all I got for news.
All right, so there you have the news. Let's take a quick look at the scores from this past week. Tim, stop me when you hear something of interest, but we got the Thursday night was 12-9 Colts Broncos.
Okay, well, there's one quick thing on that one. That was a no-score game, and it went into overtime, and there was no touchdown in the entire game. That's got to be – I mean, that's probably the worst game I've ever watched in my life. So there's that.
That's what you call a bad game to talk about.
Yeah.
We had Giants-Packers. Giants 27, Packers 22. We had the Steelers 3, the Bills 38.
The other worst game I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about that with the news of just the bad call,
I'm sure.
the no call on Pickett.
But, I mean, at that point,
yeah, that wasn't
sure it should have been a call, but it's not like it would have changed any outcome of the game at all. But
we had the Chargers 30 over the Browns 28.
Hey, at least they beat the Browns. That's a close game, but
and good for us. It kept the Steelers within one game of bottom in the division. We got the Vikings 29, Bears 22. We had the Patriots 29-0 over the Lions.
I literally said the Lions would win that game too last week.
That was bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Saints 39 over the Seahawks 32.
Taysom Hill had like 3 touchdowns.
Lost Rashad Penny for those fantasy out there. He's gone for the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was that bad?
How about the Jets 40 all over the Dolphins 17?
Yeah, that's crazy too. I actually said the Jets could win that game too.
We have the Texans over the Jags 13-6.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise.
The Jags came in, and Trayvon Walker, the Georgia guy, like might have been the first pick of the draft or like the third or something. He got it was a 3rd and 20 for the Texans. The game was tied with not much time left in the entire game. Trayvon Walker runs in, gets an offsides, which would still have been replay 3rd down, just 5 yards closer. But after on the offsides, like he beat everyone to the quarterback. He grabs Davis Mills and he throws him. He flips him onto the ground just for no reason. Gets the call, gets automatic first down. The Houston then scores a touchdown and wins the game because of Trayvon Walker. And it was completely his fault. They would have had a chance if he didn't do that.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was that's a really bad move. Like you will get you can't do that. Like that's a bad look for him basically.
Trevor Lawrence 25 of 47, 286 yards and 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Davis Mills 16 of 24, 140 yards.
It was really Damon Pierce, that rookie on the Texans. He's great. If he was on any other team, he'd be looked at as the best running back in the league, probably. He's basically the Najee of last year, just like this crazy rookie. And I have him in fantasy. So
yeah, 26 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, they pound him, and he does really good.
Falcons, Buccaneers. Buccaneers 21 over the Falcons 15.
The Brady call. That was probably the biggest thing you could say about that game. Yeah.
Let's go back to the Steelers Bills. Kenny Pickett 34 of 52, 327 yards.
I looked at I have Deontay in fantasy and Claypool on my bench, and I looked at their yards and I was like, wait, Deontay got 60 yards, Claypool got 40 yards, Pickens got 90 yards. Like we were actually moving the ball on offense, but we weren't scoring at all. And we had a lot of bad drives. Like that was we played a lot of offense in that game and had a lot of terrible drives.
I mean, it was a devastating game for the Steelers, but when you looked at the stats, you're like, okay, everyone was praising Josh Allen, and he's fantastic. 424 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception.
Yeah.
But 424 yards, keep that in mind. Kenny Pickett, 327 yards and an interception.
Yeah.
So, I mean, something was out of whack for sure. That's a blowout. The better team won. It's not even close.
I would say of course, there's offensive play calling issues, but there's definitely secondary issues. I think our defensive scheme, like our secondary, I think the way that we play defense is actually not that good in the secondary.
Yeah,
I think we focus it all on like rushing defense, and like
stopping the run.
And I think that's kind of like where our whole focus is. And when you play a team like that, it's not about stopping the run. They don't have backs. It's about stopping the 80-yard pass that Josh Allen's going to sling on every single drive. So,
and on the offensive side of it, here's the Steelers' leading rusher, Jaylen Warren, 5 carries for 24 yards.
Yeah,
Najee,
but it got out of hand so fast. The run game was going to be non-existent. Like
Najee Harris, 11 carries for 20 yards. So those of us with Najee in various leagues want to strangle ourselves.
He's awful. I would say, probably if you can, don't even start him because it's no production just because we don't run the ball. We give him 11 carries. He should have 28 carries in a game.
Yeah.
Not 11.
Titans 21, Commanders 17.
Yeah.
It's bringing back to life a little bit, Titans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Derrick Henry, 28 carries, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's back,
what happens
baby.
When you give someone 28 carries, that's what I just said. Give Najee more than 11 carries, and he'll get you 99 yards and 2 touchdowns or whatever. Like it's terrible.
We said,
but yeah, Henry had a good game. That's good. It's good because he wasn't really producing that much. So
yeah, 49ers 37 all over the Panthers 15.
Yeah, not surprising.
No. Eagles 20 over the Cardinals 17.
That is something worth mentioning. The Eagles are the best team in football right now.
Jalen Hurts 26 36, 239 yards. No big rushing yards at all.
They just get it done.
Got it done.
That's what the Eagles do. They win. They just win games. There's nothing that flashy about them. They just win. And I mean, Miles Sanders is actually playing really well, so they do have the run game. Jalen Hurts is playing really well, and he rushes and he throws. And they have good receivers that they're not getting crazy stats. There's no Eagles receivers getting crazy stats, but they're kind of just like defense is playing well, offense is playing well, play calling's good. That's just like, it seems like it's good coaching. It's good. The team's just doing good. And they beat the Cardinals. That's a good team. Like
Cowboys 22 over the Rams 10.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah. The Rams are shit.
That's
just
big.
Cooper Kupp is good. It's only Cooper Kupp. He's playing good still. And he's got like their one touchdown, like breakaway, huge touchdown. Stafford got 14 points in fantasy. I benched him and put in Geno Smith. Geno Smith got me 36 points.
Now, Stafford was 28 of 42, 308 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. By the way, Cooper Rush, 10 of 16, 102 yards. So he didn't do anything.
No, that was a defensive game. The defense went insane. The Cowboys' defense is really fucking good. They're probably the best defense in the league.
We said somebody was going to lose in the AFC North between the Bengals and Ravens, and it was the Bengals. Ravens 19, Bengals 17.
Yeah, which I called. I said Ravens would win. Yeah.
And last, Chiefs over the Raiders, 30-29.
Yeah, so my friend Josh is a Chiefs fan, and we were actually watching that game last night, and It was a good game. It was a battle. I didn't know who was going to win the entire. It came down to like a 1-point game, and then the Raiders were winning at first. I think they were up by like 2. It was 10-0, and then the Chiefs kind of came back.
Mahomes 29 of 43, 292 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that Travis Kelce had every single touchdown. Was that what it was?
Travis Kelce. 4 touchdowns.
He had every touchdown. He's their new goal. What they did, he only had like 20 yards, and they just give him it. They would just throw it to him on the goal line every time, and he caught it every single time and got 4. Travis Kelce got 4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns, 25 yards.
Yeah,
Total.
25 yards. Yeah, he didn't even do anything else. He's like, there's people saying they're like, Kelce's the Chiefs' new goal line back, basically.
Right.
Like this guy that's how they used him, and it worked really well. So.
All right, so there you have week 5, and that's a good transition for us to look at some brand new PFB power rankings.
So the number 1 team in the league, I'm going with the Bills. Even though they did lose a game and the Eagles are undefeated, I'm taking the Bills. They just beat the Steelers 38-3. Number 2, the Eagles, undefeated.
Yep.
All I need to say there.
Yeah.
Number 3, the Chiefs, because they keep winning with no receivers. Patty Mahomes is thrown to dog shit receivers. Kelce had 4 touchdowns last night. Travis Kelce had 4 receiving touchdowns last night.
That's crazy.
That tells you how bad the receivers are, too, and running backs.
Juju's not doing well, is he?
Juju is fucking terrible. Juju's bad. Juju can't get open. Like, he can't for some
It's
reason.
so crazy.
And then when he does get the ball, he usually drops it. Not more than Deontay, though. By the way, on that note, George Pickens needs to be the wide receiver 1. Put Claypool at 2. Put Deontay's bum ass in the slot. And then probably trade him before his value goes down because we're paying him like he's one of the best receivers in the league. And we have a 4-year deal that just started.
Steelers are going to need, that's another topic, but they're going to need some serious overhaul.
Yeah.
Coaching
Yeah.
and...
Coaching and offense.
Yeah.
Offensive line mainly. But Claypool and Deontay are both weirdos anyway. Like, get them off the team. Now,
I screamed
Claypool's
this
a weirdo.
watching-
Deontay can't catch. That's what it is.
I keep screaming this watching the game, but if my first call would be to, as soon as the season ends, to Mike Munchak, I would offer him offensive line coach and assistant head coach.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
Agreed.
Steelers, if you're listening, call Mike Munchak, offer him the assistant head coach and offensive line coach, because the line has not been the same since he left.
No, and they say usually the coaches that are successful have good staff around them. You don't have shit staff around you and have success. Our great coach has a terrible staff around him, and we have no O-line.
If he doesn't start with the foundation of the offense and defensive line and get this thing figured out, and starts with coaches, we've got Flores as a linebacker coach, but the linebackers are playing like shit.
Yeah, Miles Jack is not playing good now all of a sudden.
No,
but I
Devin
think it's because
Bush.
we're on the field the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, bad offense doesn't help.
Yeah, it's like you can't worry about the defense when the offense is so messed up. And Pickett, by the way, is not the issue. He is a starting quarterback, and we do have our franchise guy, which is actually that we found him that fast. But what sucks is he's got terrible play calling and terrible O-line.
This will be Mike Tomlin's challenge to have a winning season with this. It's possible.
I think it's possible, too, because I know for a fact we're going to look good by the end of the year. The question is our start going to be so bad that we can't get a winning season from it?
And, yeah, I've looked at the games and I've analyzed it, and we're going to have to steal Miami and one Baltimore and one Cincinnati.
Yeah, okay.
Pull off.
Or steal Tampa this week.
I had us losing that, but if we steal it...
The refs are the only reason that Tampa... No, that's not even true. Tampa won that game, but the Tampa beat the Falcons by 6, and the refs had to stop the Falcons from getting the ball back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So, you never know, but...
It's incredible.
Back to the power rankings.
Yes.
So, Bills, Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys at 4. The Cowboys have not lost with Cooper Rush. Dak's coming back. They're playing the Eagles this week. If they win, they might be numbered 1 or 2 in the power rankings. They have the, like, without Watt in the picture especially, they have by far the best defense in the league. They have an insanely good run game with Zeke and Pollard. Pollard is amazing. Zeke's going downhill, but he's good enough to run with someone else.
Yeah.
He's still one of the better running backs in the league. And then CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup's back, and now Dak is back. Yeah, they have.
Do they
Dak.
have a quarterback controversy, you think?
No, but Cooper Rush is a Jimmy G who doesn't make mistakes. That's what he is.
Wow.
he'll get you one touchdown a game and 100 yards, but he's throwing no picks, no fumbles, and he's putting the ball in the right spot. Cooper Rush is literally the best game manager you could have.
Yeah, I mean, you heard our podcast last week. Tim and I were talking about it.
Yeah. You were calling him good?
Yeah, because we had a question from Dallas asking, should we go with Cooper Rush or Dak?
But no, you got to put in Dak, and then if Dak somehow sucks, then you're not in a terrible spot. But I don't think Dak's going to be bad. Cowboys should make a run this year, and Mike McCarthy isn't doing a bad job, and Dan Quinn as the defensive coordinator is doing a great job.
Boy, that's good coaches.
Yeah, it is actually good coaches. Those are both Super Bowl coaches, and they're on the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
So, I mean, and that's a Super Bowl franchise, so not in the past 20 years, but historically. They should make a run. 5, the Giants, only because they have one loss and beat the Packers last week.
Yeah, Giants are having a good year.
Yeah, I don't expect them to be in the top 10 by the end of the year. But right now, the 3 best teams of the NFC are the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants, all in the NFC East. And the craziest part is that division had no one with a winning record in it 2 years ago, and now three of the teams in that division are the best teams in the NFC.
It's wild.
Then after Giants at 5, I got Ravens at 6, Vikings at 7, Packers at 8, Buccaneers at 9, and Niners at 10.
Yeah, it's an interesting power ranking.
The Niners beat the Rams. Rams are out of the top 10. Rams are at 14.
No Bengals, no Rams.
Yeah, I'll tell you where some people... Yeah, so I got the Titans at 11, by the way. Derrick Henry's doing really good this year. Let's see. Yeah, the Rams are at 14. Bengals are at 18. The Steelers are at 21 now.
I was going to say, where do you have the Steelers?
Which is probably higher than most people have them, 21.
Oh, I'm sure.
I have them above the Jags, Colts, Broncos, Lions, Saints, Falcons, Seahawks, Commanders, Bears, Texans, and Panthers.
Well, one thing, the Steelers, Mike Tomlin's got a shot at Coach of the Year.
Yeah, if we have a winning season.
If he turns it around.
So, yeah, Bills, Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Giants, Ravens, Vikings, Packers, Buccaneers, 49ers.
I think it's good.
And if the Steelers somehow beat Tampa, we are taking that 9th spot from Tampa in the power rankings. And if we lose, like we probably will, we'll go probably a spot or 2 down.
I don't know what to think of that game. I mean, is it winnable?
We should lose, but it's winnable. Way more winnable than the Bills game.
Do we know if TJ is back for that game?
No, he's not going to be back. I don't think.
He's not. So
he got surgery, so it delayed it 2 weeks. So I think he's going to be back next week or the week after.
So when we come back, we're going to take a look at Week 6 in the NFL. And, of course, we got money on the line, Tim. It's Jacob's Lock of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
All that is coming up next.
It's Pro Football Fast Break. The guys will be right back.
Okay, look, so you're like most people. You got some debt, credit card debt or student loan debt. Maybe you got a ton of debt. That's okay, because we've got a number for you to call to talk to a debt counselor for free. Call 1-800-475-7125. Call the Debt Hotline now, 1-800-475-7125.
This is Pro Football Fast Break.
And we're back on Pro Football Fast Break, and it's time for a look at Week 6. All right, Tim, just as we did last week, I'm going to read it to you. You get 1 second to go with your gut on who wins and loses. You hit a few last week.
I was pretty.
You missed
I was
a few.
pretty accurate.
You were decent.
Pretty accurate. I
You were
called
decent.
an upset. That was not bad.
Not bad. Let's see if you can improve on that even more this week. All right?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Commanders, Bears.
Bears.
Ravens, Giants.
Ravens.
Jags, Colts.
Holy shit. Those are all hard. Colts.
Patriots.
Taylor's back. Colts.
Patriots, Browns.
Patriots.
Bengals, Saints.
Saints.
Buccaneers, Steelers.
Bucks.
49ers, Falcons.
Niners.
Jets, Packers.
Jets.
Vikings, Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Panthers, Rams.
Rams.
Cardinals, Seahawks.
Holy shit. Seahawks.
Bills, Chiefs.
Whoa. Oh. Bills.
Cowboys, Eagles.
Cowboys.
Broncos, Chargers.
Chargers. That's impossible. I've never heard anything like that.
Boy, that's going to be tough for you.
Every single one of those games could 100% go either way. I would say it, then I'd be like, wait, that's not even like the Cowboys and the Eagles. I said Cowboys, but Eagles are undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, this was crazy. I'm listening to you. I'm thinking I could hear your brain burning up because it's like,
yeah,
what the hell, dude? It's like
every game, every single game that for week 6 is like a toss up.
This may not be the week to make a bet on these games, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Jacob's got a lock for us, so we'll see.
Oh, I'm sure you can find something in there. There was like 2 that were like guaranteed, like you parlay them and stuff, but like that's crazy. Most of those games are like a complete toss up. Like damn.
Bills Chiefs is obviously the
Cowboys Eagles is going to be insane too, because the Eagles are about to play the best defense in the league. If they win that game, that's insane.
That will be something. I mean, those are obviously the games to watch. Bills Chiefs, Cowboys Eagles. Well, Broncos Chargers.
No, that's good too. I mean, all these games are going to be close. Like even like Saints Bengals. Like who knows who's going to win that.
And then of course we'll be glued to Buccaneers Steelers to see if do we drop to 1-5.
Here's my thing. I honestly believe that we will. I think we can actually win that game, but I actually somehow thought we're going to have a chance against the Bills too. Now I don't know.
I had this vision of us beating the Bills, and
me too.
And then sadly, I had this thought today that we can beat the Buccaneers. I know we can, but
I know
we're so not that good.
But it's almost like I feel like if we play a passing team like that, we're going to lose.
Yeah, I don't know how you.
Brady's
we can't stop the pass.
Yeah.
We can stop the run.
All of a sudden. Well, we do, too. We get picks, too. We picked off Josh Allen. And, one of those touchdowns, Minka had the ball in his hands, and so did Gabe Davis.
I know.
And Minka took it from him. Gabe Davis took it back while he was walking into the end zone. Gabe Davis is a monster
now, huh?
So good. So good. He's really good. I think he's probably playing better than he ever could because he has Josh Allen throwing it to him, but he plays really good. And they all worry about Diggs, and then Davis just gets Davis just burns guys and gets wide open, and he's always open.
Tim, do you hear that music?
I do.
Do you know what that means?
I think I know what that means.
It's time for you to start making money. Right?
It is, indeed.
It's Jacob's Lock of the Week.
Yep, and my lock of the week should be a pretty easy one. Bengals to win by 1 against the Saints, who currently have Andy Dalton at quarterback, Mark Ingram at running back, and Jarvis Landry at receiver. And all those guys were pretty good. Well, not Andy Dalton, but all those guys were in their prime 10 years ago, 8 years ago.
Right.
So that team's shit.
So you've got the Bengals winning by 1.
Yeah, Bengals -1 against Andy Dalton, Mark Ingram, and Jarvis Landry.
It's so weird when you said Andy Dalton. He was the quarterback.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Bengals.
Yeah. So weird.
That's what confused me for a second.
I know. You looked confused for a half second, but I didn't think anything of it. But
yeah. Andy Dalton. God.
Yep.
I actually forgot he existed.
Yeah. Makes sense. Why would you remember he existed? He was just slightly below average in Cincinnati for 13 years or something. 10 years.
So are you putting that? Are you betting that?
Yeah, I took it already.
Okay.
I also tossed 10 on the Cowboys to beat the Eagles at plus odds.
Wow.
Give the Eagles their first loss of the season. I think they got to lose soon, even if they're really good, even if they win the Super Bowl, they got to lose soon. And they're playing someone in their division, and Dak's back, and they have the undisputed best defense in the league. So,
and I think I think those divisional games are.
They're so much easier to lose. It's actually ridiculous how much easier a divisional game is to lose.
Hey, as always, to make a comment or suggestion, email us at profootballfastbreak@gmail.com or hit our Twitter feed. Don't forget about Twitter, at PFBFastBreak. And all of that is in your show notes. Thanks for listening to Pro Football Fast Break. We have just one ask, Tim.
Go to profootballfastbreak.com and tell a friend.
How?
However you want.
Last week
you do it.
Last week you said tie them up as a Halloween prank. Do you stand by that? Because there were complaints. Some complaints came in about that.
It's stupid. I think I still stand by it.
Okay. So it's okay to tie them up.
It's a controversial take.
Tie them up, make them listen to Pro Football Fast Break, and after one episode,
exactly,
they'll be hooked and they'll go back.
It doesn't have to. I mean, you could just like lock them in a room, lock them in a closet or something.
So lock them in with.
You wouldn't have to
with their phone and
like
make them
Bluetooth
listen.
Speaker even, and then like stand outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, that's what we'll do.
That's it for me. I'm done saying peace out. He's Jacob.
Peace.
And he's Tim.
Peace.
And we're saying peace out.
Peace out.
It's Jacob's Lock of the Week.
Thanks for listening to Pro Football Fast Break. Be here each week as the guys bring you a fresh take from the world of pro football. Until next time.
So listen, before you plan your next trip to fly anywhere, you've got to call this number, 802-317-1986. The company is Tickets That Cheap, and they can literally save you up to 70% on airline tickets, foreign or domestic. These are unpublished rates. Don't believe me? Test it out for yourself. Call 802-317-1986. Tell them the city you're flying out of, the destination, and the dates, and they'll compute the rate for you. You literally have nothing to lose. It doesn't cost a thing to price out flights. You don't have to give them any information to get a rate. And if you like what you hear, you can book it on the spot. Don't book a flight until you call Tickets That Cheap at 802-317-1986.